Hey there, my name is Adam from the team here at Parabola, and in this video I'll be showing off our AI-powered PDF parsing capabilities. We work with dozens of teams across e-commerce, freight and logistics, finance, and insurance that are constantly manually parsing data off of PDFs to do things like reconciliations and input data into internal systems, and we're constantly hearing how manual, time-consuming, and error-prone a lot of that work can be. And while traditional PDF parsing solutions often require a lot of custom scripting, technical resources, and human intervention, Parabola's approach makes it incredibly quick and easy to start accurately parsing data off of PDFs using a combination of OCR and a computer vision enabled large language model, all without requiring any technical resources from your end whatsoever. In this video, I'll be showing you a couple examples of how you too can start parsing PDFs of really any format without requiring any code or technical resources. In this first example, we're going to be looking at a workflow that is built to generate a fuel surcharge validation and spend dashboard where we're able to see across all of our different invoices what was the total discrepancy that existed across the surcharge that existed on an invoice and the surcharge that was listed in the body of an email, which represents our contracted rate with a given carrier. So here we can see a couple KPIs, total spend over time, so on and so forth. To actually produce that dashboard, we need some accurate source data coming from the PDF that we're receiving over email from this carrier. So as I click in here, in this top section, you'll see we're automatically pulling that PDF with all of its pages from our email. And we can see we have an invoice here with some line items, and this is actually the information that we want to parse. But we also have, for instance, a bill of lading, and we have a list of accessorial charges. So now we want to tell Parabola exactly what we want to pull off of all of these different pages of this PDF. In the second section here, where we start to get into some of this really easy configuration, we're actually using AI to generate a list of all of the different tables that we've detected across those pages of PDFs. So AI is naming these tables, for instance, invoice charges, bill of lading summary, so on and so forth. Once I click on invoice charges and say, hey, this is actually what I want to pull, we're actually going to generate a list of all of the different columns that exist across that table. And let's say I want to click in and say, hey, here are some examples of what you can look for in the description of articles, or actually provide some fine tuning to help the model identify specific pieces of data. A ton of different opportunities to inject examples and additional context on top of this configuration as well. Now, beyond just parsing columns from a table, we also can pull specific keys or data points off of those PDFs as well. So let's say we want to associate each of those line items with something like an invoice number or a ship date. We can come into this next section, just define what keys we want to pull off that document, maybe add some examples or additional instructions, and start quickly pulling those additional pieces of data off of that PDF as well. Now, whenever we're working with PDFs, we always receive tons of questions around different file formats that we can handle, languages, handwriting, and that's really the beauty of using a combination of OCR with a large language model, where the OCR is really great at extracting all of that text off of a PDF, and the large language model is good at both contextualizing that text and also helping understand spatial relationships that exist on a document to really make sense of all of that information that we are parsing. So here's one example where we have a list of handwritten IDs in our trailers table here. And now instead of using AI to auto detect tables, I'm actually saying, hey, I want you to find me my table called trailers. And from that table, I want to find my row numbers and my vehicle IDs. And here's an example. If we want to provide some additional context, we can use the fine tuning section. We could add additional keys. But as you can see here, all in a couple clicks can get to a really nicely parsed data set that you can then send really anywhere it needs to go. Hopefully this gives you a good sense of how you too can start parsing PDFs in Parabola, and definitely let us know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.